Would you like to learn, understand, enjoy, and apply the beauty of higher engineering and scientific mathematics for the non-measures? It means for engineers and scientists? Just put a question mark. That possibly might be a question you've been asking yourself for so many years, and they've been trying to visit different institutions, different colleges, different materials, different hard copy materials, different online programs, and you've never possibly found the right answer that can satisfy your needs. But what I want to tell you that today, it might be your luck day. You met with the right answer that can meet your desire. How are you, everybody who is watching this video? I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome and appreciate all the national and international undergraduate engineering and scientific students into this fantastic platform for them to learn and enjoy and to make sure that they meet the vision that has been hidden in them, and actually they pursue the purpose that God has planned for them to be on the planet Earth. My name is OLENJOLAI Moko TAYAI single. Simply you can call me OLENJOLAI. I thank God by His own grace He has called me. He has given me, or He has built a gift of teaching in me. I am teaching. Teaching is me. So me and teaching, we are together until death. The only thing can separate OLENJOLAI and teaching is death. I thank God also by His own grace, He has given me a gift of engineering. So I'm electrical, and I'm electrical engineer and a computer scientist. However, that is informal. Formally, I'm electronics and telecommunication engineer. I have nothing else to boast. I'm telling you about gift that God has built in me. By God's grace also, I think, because I am a firstborn I am the firstborn, so used to found different ministries or different programs which have never existed on the planet Earth. But I thank God also because He has given me a gift of leadership. So I give Him all the glory and praise for everything He has built in me. Thank you, my Father who is in heaven, because you are hearing me right now, and we are here in order to do great things and to bless your people through the words of my lips, and through the intelligence, understanding, wisdom, comprehensions, and everything that you have built in me is for benefit of the kingdoms of heaven. So I would like to welcome you, just welcome into our online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Simultaneously, because I'm teaching mathematics, so you have simultaneous equation. I'd like to welcome you into our official YouTube channel that's called Online Undergrad Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. What are we doing in this online undergraduate Polytechnic? First of all, we are creating contents. We are creating video contents for undergraduate students and undergraduate lecturers who are teaching engineering and scientific mathematics. Because myself also I refer other lecturers. I learned from other lecturers, and I'm still learning from other lecturers. So I ask you also lecturers to learn from these contents for them to make sure that possibly they can learn something new in their mind. So what vision do we have in online undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania square bracket OLENJOLAIM, which its abbreviations is called the OPITO. OPITO is abbreviations of Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. First of all, this is online institutions. We don't have any physical institution. So we provide our contents currently online. So it should be an active student who is actually visiting the internet or getting connections of the internet every day, because even ourselves, we are going to give you a bread of a day. Every day, at least we give you, or we publish to you, at least one video. So it should be serious, should put on a budget. And remember that God is a sponsor and founder. My God is a founder and a sponsor of this program. You therefore pay a lot of amount of money to receive these contents of more than 600 videos that we are going to make for the undergraduate students. So you could have or pay a lot of amount of money, but God has paid for you. Don't worry about that, because don't be stressed about that, because what we want in you, just we want a serious students and passionate students who want to do great things and change the world and solve real life problems. So simply, this is the vision of Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. We have an assignment, and we have an assignment to teach, train, mentor, lead, encourage, and guide undergraduate students on how they can extract understanding, wisdom, and the knowledge from the classroom instructions in core and the fundamental courses or modules, and combine the extract with the knowledge, understanding, and wisdom that we are going to teach them to extract from the Word of God written in the Holy Bible in order to solve real life problems. That's what we have. That's what we are going to do. So we are going to do mainly 4 functions to teach you to extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the classroom instructions. We have also another departments of the kingdoms of heaven where we are going to teach you how you can extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the Word of God. And then, you know what will be the function of the Holy Spirit? To combine these 2 knowledges, to combine these 2 understanding, to combine these 2 wisdoms. And then you know the purpose of that combination? That the first part will take us into the first part, solving real life problems. The main objective of OPITO is not to prepare you to pass your continuing assessment. It's not to prepare you to pass your end of semester exam, your UE exam. No. The aim or the main objective of OPITO is to teach undergraduate students who are taking different programs in engineering and science in Tanzania, in Africa, in America, in Asia, in Europe, how they can think outside of the classroom instructions and how they can extract knowledge, understanding, and wisdom from the educational, formal or informal educational in order to solve real life problems. So our achievement is to see our students are solving real life problems successful of any level, whether small scale real life problems or large scales or intermediate scale. Okay? What I'm telling you, it might seem like impossible. Even myself, when I heard in my own life more than 5 years ago, I disagreed the voice of the Holy Spirit is speaking to me. But what I want to tell you, that voice has never left me until I accepted that God, I agree what you are saying. I'm ready now to combine these 2 different knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. And then I'm ready to give me real life problems to solve. And then God has been faithful. He has been training me and teaching me year after year, month after month, until right now I'm solving a real life problems. Because you are asking yourself, OLENJOLAI, what real life problems have you ever solved? The one that you need somebody to teach you about the beauty of one variable and differential calculus. So here I am, right? So I'm teaching you. I'm not solving a question for my exam. I'm done with that. Wonderful. I'm at Tanzania. I'll be using the syllabus and curriculums of Tanzania in this program. However, that undergraduate engineering and scientific mathematics or higher engineering and scientific mathematics is a cross-cutting. So these are the courses or modules that land in every field of engineering and science worldwide, especially applied science. So again, I would like to present you a few steps that you have to follow for you to register. We want you to be a permanent student. Okay? Don't you? So in order for you to be a permanent student, you have just to follow 5 steps enough for you to follow, and then you'll be a permanent student. There's no need for you to register yourself several times. So you have only one lifetime registration. The other 2 steps is in the step number 6 and 7. That is just to simplify your navigations of our contents online. Because if you don't follow these 2 steps, these 2 last steps, then you can spend much time on finding what you're finding, and sometimes it's difficult because you don't know what has been created. And I am a YouTube creator, I am a YouTube viewer. I thank God for that opportunity. So the first step for you, these are the steps to follow to register yourself in OPITO. OPITO is Online Undergraduate Polytechnic Institute of Tanzania, square bracket OLENJOLAI. If you have an email, remember your password and the username. If you don't have any, you can create or open a new email. Just go into Google and then ask Google, how can I create a new email? Again, we ask you after you created your email, so you have a password, a username. Then we ask you to sign in YouTube. Where will you see the buttons of sign in? If you enter, it means if you have a YouTube application, once you enter there, then you can see this icon, because you cannot get in YouTube and you cannot accomplish the first step without sign in. You can watch videos without sign in, but you cannot subscribe into any channel. You cannot register yourself permanently into any channel in YouTube without having official email, okay, address. So we ask you to search OPITO. Don't write OPITO, it's not there. Just what you have to search it for this one, for this name, an online undergrad POLYINSTIT of Tanzania in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Then you see a profile picture. It means that the round buttons to the profile picture, that is Tanzania national flag. So you'll find the Tanzania national flag. Okay, so we ask you to click the round buttons here. So click the round buttons to get in OPITO. Once you click now, you are already, because this is, once you reach here, you are in our institution poster, right? You're in our institution's poster. So once you open now, you see home, you see videos, you see playlists, you see channel, you see about, you see trailer video, you see uploads, you see created playlist, you see some playlists that we've created. Then you are already in our online institution and you're warmly welcome, and we are happy to have you and stay with us, ask us questions, learn from what we know. We don't know everything. OLENJOLAI does not know everything about one variable and differential calculus for the non-measures. I just know small portions, but I have a responsibility to teach others what I know. Okay, so then once you will come back later into this top or horizontal toolbar, but right now just find the buttons of 40 of subscribe, possibly 30 on the right hand side, or 40 of subscribe. Once you find it, just click these buttons. It's its background color is ready and the text is white. So once you click it, then it will be changed into subscribe. So afterwards, then the icon of, once you click, the color of the button will change and the text will change from subscribing to subscribing, and the icon of the bell will appear. So once the icon of the bell will appear, we ask you to click this icon of the bell. You'll be given or be prompted with 3 options. So we ask you to choose the first option, which is all. From there, you have already registered yourself into OPITO and you are permanently and valid students for the rest of your life. And I think that because you enjoy this, the bread for you and bread for your children and bread for your children's, for your grandchildren, and bread for your grandchildren's and grandchildren's, because this is digital content. So why did you subscribe? Why are you subscribing? That's a very important question. We have a vision to create more than 600 teaching videos of higher engineering and scientific mathematics, and we add at least 1 in a day. So the aim for you to subscribe, you are giving YouTube a responsibility to give you notification once we add a new video. That's why in the beginning we asked you to make sure that you visit online often in order for you to access our contents. The last 2 steps, just to come back into this toolbar, then check the buttons or the text switches. Just the text written playlist, click it. Once you click the playlist, then find the playlist written one variable in differential calculus, or find the playlist written review of techniques of integrations. Then there you'll find collections of all the lectures about review of techniques of integration. If you find this playlist, you'll find all the lectures that we have already taught you in one variable and differential calculus, or differential question, right? You can call it just differential question, right? For non-measures. So, my dear student, I believe that you are ready to receive good news. You are ready to go into the business, isn't it? So, we welcome you into departments of not basic engineering, do this minor correction. We ask you to be a serious student. You should have your exercise book, you should have your pen, your scientific calculator, your reference books, and then let us learn engineering and scientific mathematics intensively. So it's departments of what? Of higher. So I'd like to welcome you into the department, one of our departments of 40 higher engineering and scientific mathematics. The module name or course name is called one variable and differential equation for non-measures. And I'd like to welcome you into chapter 1, because we have mentioned 6 chapters in this course. I'm teaching you build a foundation for the chapter 1 that titled as review of techniques of integration. And this is lecture 1. We are going to teach about definite and indefinite intervals. Say definite and indefinite intervals. That's the responsibility that we have today, and that's the name of today's lecture. So let us go into the business. Before we go into today's contents, we'd like to do the quick review. Quick review of what? Of lecture 0. If you visit our YouTube channel that called Online Undergrad POLYINSTIT of Tanzania, square bracket OLENJOLAIM, then you'll find that you can access lecture 00, which is titled as General Introductions of One Variable and Differential Calculus. So in that, if you do remember that in lecture 00, what did I present to you? The first thing I've represented about the higher educational authorities in where? In Tanzania. And we said there are 3. VETA, which is long-term resort vocational education and training authority. There is also NATE, which is abbreviations, it's what is long-term resort National Council for Technical Education. There is also TCU, abbreviations is Tanzania Commission for University. And then we say that one variable in differential equation is one of the modules that given or provided by using the syllabus or the curriculum and out in TCU, because TCU is knowledge-based, not a focus on their competence-based. So in this course, that called one variable in differential equation, will be focusing on the learning or training system in Tanzania that we call knowledge-based. So we'll be giving you knowledge, not the competence. Then afterward, we presented to you about 30 courses. So we say that we have different, so at University of Udsm we say that we have 4 courses of mathematics, right? The first one is called matrices and basic calculus. The second one is the one variable and differential equation. And the third one is called the several variable calculus. And the fourth one is called the statistics for the non-measures. Again, I presented or I taught you about what? About topics. Topics of what? Topics that you have to cover, or chapter you have to cover in one variable and differential equation. Again, we presented to you about 30 reference books. What are the reference books for one variable and the differential calculus? Then, if you do remember, presented to you that this subject or this course has a prerequisite, what you've learned in ordinary diploma or in advanced mathematics, advanced pure mathematics. So, etc., etc., etc. So today, let us focus in. Let me just remind you about 6 chapters of 40 of one variable and the differential equation. So ladies and gentlemen, we presented to you that according to this curriculum or syllabus of the Islam Institute of Technology of University of Islam, there are 6 chapters of one variable that you have to cover in one variable. The first one is called the review. So it's me review of what? Of techniques. Review of techniques of what? Of integration. Review of technique of what? Of integration. The second topic that we have to learn is called differential equations. We have to teach you about differential equations. We used to revise one variable differential equation, And later on, you go into the partial differential question or into the ordinary differential question. No. Later on, will take you into ordinary differential questions with what? With functions, coefficient of functions. Then the third topic is called the sequences. The first topic that we are going to teach you is called the numerical methods. Remember that some of the thing that 20% of each topic possibly have covered already in advanced education. So here you are looking for the extra concept. Remember again, I'll teach you by taking consideration of, or by not taking assumption that you know some other concepts, why I'm not sure. So the fifth topic is called infinite series. So I'll teach you about infinite series in mathematics. And the last topic that I have to teach you is very interesting in engineering, and especially electrical engineering. It's called the Fourier series. Say Fourier series. That is what you're going to cover. You can pause the video and then copy those 7 steps for you to register yourself permanently in Orbital. Are you done? Okay, so you can let us clean the blackboard. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, in this course I'm going to teach you about review of integration technique, or review of techniques of integration. Then I'm going to teach you about differential questions. Then I'm going to teach you about sequences. I'm going to teach you about numerical methods. I'm going to teach you about infinite series. I'm going to teach you about Fourier series. So you see the difference. For example, that in knowledge, in competence-based, we aren't learning about infinite series. We're not learning about numerical methods anymore. We're not learning about the sequences. What we are learning just a Fourier series, differential question, and some few rules of integration. Right? That's what you have to bear in your mind. So this is what we have presented, and we'll be reminding you because we want you to know the sequence of the topic and how it can help somebody else who need your help. So we say that subtopics of what? Subtopics of review of techniques. Review of techniques. Subtopics of review of techniques of integration. Subtopics of review of techniques of integration. So this topic has the following subtopic. The first one is called the introduction. The second one is the finite and definite integrals. So introduction in the finite and definite intervals. And definite interval. So we'll teach about the indefinite and the definite intervals. Then the third subtopic is we are going to teach you about the integration theorems, but we won't prove. So integration theorem, but without proof. Without proof. So no need for you to prove them. Just have to remind you. Then the first concept is called the integration by parts. Remind you about integration. Integration by parts. Integration by parts. The integrations of powers of trigonometrical function. So we say that the integration of powers of trigonometrical function, integration of powers of, so integration of powers of trigonometrical function. Trigonometric functions. Trigonometric functions, and these are cos, sine, cosine, tangent, cosine. Then here we have sine, tangent, cosecant, secant, cosec, etc., etc., etc. We have only 6. So cosine, sine, tangent, cosecant, secant. These are the trigonometrical functions. Okay, so we'll teach you this. We'll teach you about the integration by trigonometric substitution. So say integration by trigonometric substitution. Okay, integration by trigonometric functions. Trigonometric substitution. Trigonometric substitution. Substitution. That's the 60 top concept that you are going to teach you. 7 concept you are going to teach you. Evaluations of improper intervals. Evaluation of what? Of improper interval. Evaluations of what? Of improper. Evaluations of improper intervals. Improper intervals. Improper intervals. This is about beta and gamma function. evaluations of improper integrals. Then the last concept or subtopic that we are going to learn here is applications in analysis, science and engineering. So applications in analysis. In the analysis, science, so science applications of review of techniques of integration. So science, engineering, and the engineering relay. So ladies and gentlemen, these are the 7 subtopics that we have to cover through our journey of learning one variable in differential equation. So you have the last once you reach mean that the 8th concept and make it, then you find that everything is going right. So these are the topics. Make sure that you note them, take a note of them. So you'll be learning one topic after the another one. So stay tuned, and then I will take you right now into the first subtopic, which is introductions, or which is titled as definite and indefinite integrals. So just quickly to remind you these subtopics of review of techniques and integrations for the excellent and competent engineers like you and scientists also, that we are going to cover these 8 subtopics. The first one is called introduction. So we'll be giving you introductions of calculus, what is calculus, what is integration, and then we'll come into the 2 types of integrations, which is definite and indefinite. That we taught you in advanced education or in ordinary diploma, but this is, we have to just remind you, but we add some other valuable concept that maybe in advanced education we didn't concentrate on. So that's the first and second subtopic. The third subtopic that you're going to cover is called integration theorem without proofs. So we won't prove these theorems. We just mention that, for example, if that you differentiate x of, if for example integrate x power n, mean that you'll get x power n plus 1 over n plus 1, but we won't prove. Then the first concept that we are going to teach you is integration by parts. This is very important concept in the entire concepts of what of integrals. Then we'll teach about integrations of powers. Okay, integrations of powers of trigonometric, we'll be focused on trigonometric. Integrations of powers of trigonometric functions. We'll teach about integrations of power of cosine. We'll teach you integrations of power of sine. We'll teach you integrations of power of a tangent. We'll teach you integrations of power of cosecant. We'll teach you integrations of power of secant. So you see, you hear the good news. We have a lot of things to teach you in order to open your mind. Then we'll teach about it later on, the 6th subtopic. We'll teach about the integration by trigonometric substitution, how you solve integrals by substitution method of trigonometric function. Then the 7th topic will teach you how you can evaluate the improper integrals. In higher engineering and mathematics, whenever you hear the word improper integrals, simply means about the beta and gamma functions that we are going to teach about there. Oh, this is all about indefinite integrals. When you say improper integrals are indefinite integrals, are the integrals that can be definite integrals, but these are definite integrals, but one of its limit is infinity. Yes, it is infinity. Whether you integrate from 0 to infinity or from negative infinity to infinity, okay, or negative infinity to 0. That's what we call them improper integrals, and one example of improper integral is gamma function. So the eighth then will teach you about applications of of integrations in analysis, science, and engineering. So ladies and gentlemen, after giving you that strong foundation, I would like to take you now into the first subtopic and second, and then we'll end. And in the next lecture 2, we'll teach you the third subtopic. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you the big picture. Big picture of math in my mind, and also this one should be in your mind. Here we have mathematics, let's say for engineers, okay, for engineering students. So mathematics itself, it has so many branches. So we begin from a little bit different perspective. So mathematics itself, it has so many branches. We have a branch in mathematics we call it probability. And the statistics. We have a branch in mathematics we call it algebra. Okay. We have a branch in mathematics we call it geometry. Okay. We have a branch in mathematics we call it analysis. These are the few branches of mathematics, but we have also so many other branches. So an analysis here, we have again, we have a very important concept we call it calculus. And calculus itself also, it breaks down and forms 3 topics. The first one is called the differentiation. The second one is called the integration. The third one is called the differential equation. So you see the first topic is found here. So under this topic of integration, we find review of techniques of integration. Review of techniques of integration. So this is the point that we focus. So because this is the review of the techniques, let us remind you techniques of integration from the big picture of the word calculus. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in introduction. Even this big picture is a sub-part of introduction. So here we like to define this vocabulary, and then we go into the second vocabulary. We have the word called the calculus. So the fundamental question 1 in lecture 1 is, what is calculus? You have been solving so many problems of calculus, but what if your son will ask you, father or mother, what is calculus? How are you going to respond that question? Because you tell them, I was good, I was very competent, I loved it so much, even the topic or the subject or the topic you call the calculus. But what is it? So here I have found some helpful definition. Calculus, we say, is a branch of mathematics. Is a branch of mathematics that deals with the finding This is the finding and properties. And properties of derivatives. And integrals of function. And integrals of functions by method originally based on the summation of infinitesimal differences. So calculus, what is calculus, ladies and gentlemen, is a branch of mathematics. First of all, it's one of the branch of mathematics that deals with what? It deals with the finding, what? And the properties. So finding derivatives and the properties of derivatives, and finding what? Integrals of the function, by method originally based on the summation of infinitesimal differences. The word infinitesimal, used in mathematics, in physics, in science, in chemistry, are small. Means that small segments, for example, of the curve. So it means that from this definition, it's kind of the wonderful definition of calculus. Simply that this definition we can extract that it means calculus deals with the finding. So when you start calculus, we're dealing with what? Finding of what? Derivatives of what? Of function. As it is function. Then we dealing with finding of what? Finding of properties of derivatives. Properties of derivatives. Write down, please. Derivatives. Then it will be dealing also with finding integrals. Finding integrals of the function by originally based on the summation. So it means that these integrals or these three stuff are formed by what? Summation of what? Each of them is formed by summation of its infinitesimal differences. So that's how we find what? We find derivatives. So when your son or daughter asks you, my father or my mother, what is calculus? I believe from today onwards, you'll have a sentence to tell him or her, and also you have to mentor him or her at least to take this faithful route of education. Let them study according to the vision. So some other differences also define calculus. Is a branch of mathematics calculus is the branch of mathematics that involves the study of rates of change. The study of rate of what? The study of rates of change. This is a slightly definition. Yeah, it's true that we'll be dealing with the rates of change, but we are doing more than that. Okay, involves the study of rates of change. So those are the two definitions of the calculus, because integration is one of the branch of calculus. So we said that in calculus we have differentiation, integration, and differential equation. Okay? So this we call them branches of calculus. What types? Branches of what? Branches of calculus. In mathematics, there are 3 branches of calculus. There are 3 branches of calculus. These are so there are 3 branches of calculus. These branches are, first one, differentiation. Differentiation, sometimes a differentiation of something. But this one also called derivative. Derivative. Okay. The second topic is called the integration. And the third branch is called differential equation. So differential equation. So I have 3 branches of calculus: differentiation, integration, and differential equation. If you come from advanced education, possibly you know about those 3 concepts there. So you have to focus on integration. So right now we saw that calculus has 3 branches. One of the branches called integration. So here, to be on the next column. Okay, so here we have what we've been looking for. Integration. Integration. Say integration. Say integration. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two types of calculus, as we stated there. That the first one is called differentiation or derivative, and the second branch is called integration, and the third branch is called the differential equation. Every branch is very important for for this generation and even future generation engineer and the scientist. So we have the word here, the second branch, which is called integration, because we'll be focused on integration. However, that integrations and the differentiation depend each other. But sometimes you cannot integrate without differentiating. So here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a second question. And this second question is, what is integration? So you can pause this video and try to answer this question yourself. What is integration? So simply say that in mathematics, integration, say with me, integration. You love integration? Integration what is integration? What is integration in calculus? So we have one interesting definition. So I'm trying to look at the parts. Okay, I'm trying to look one of the interesting definition, because here I saw one of it, but that was not the definition that I was looking for. So this is the response. This is the one of the definition. In mathematics, and the word integral here. Okay, I found this one of definition. So in mathematics, we say that the word integration we say that is the technique of finding antiderivative of a given function. So, or simply say that integration is a technique of finding antiderivative, okay, of a given function. I'll explain the meaning to what the meanings of of this one. So the integrals is calculated to find functions which will describe the area, displacement, volume that occur in the collections of the small data which cannot be measured singularly. Some other references also define integration. So, in calculus, integration is a method of adding. So this is the method of adding or summing up the parts. Summing or adds up the parts to find the whole. So simple integration, we say that the way of adding or summing up small parts that we call them infinitesimal to find out the whole. Or some references also can just simply define integration. Integration is a reverse process of differentiation. The reverse process of the differentiation. So you can find some more definitions of the very important word of mathematics that called the integration. Another interesting part also in this introduction, remember that I'm teaching you the subtopic that's called introduction. So in introduction we say that I have to teach you about the symbol. We use symbol of integration. Symbol of integration. So I say that in calculus we may deal or we may find the integration of a single variable or multiple variable. Single variable or multiple variables. So you may find the integrations of single variable or multiple variables. So the good news is that this is one variable integration. But later on, in the several variable calculus, we'll teach about multiple variables. Right? So you say that the integral sign of what? Of one variable or single variable, one variable so the integral sign of one variable is this. So you say that simple derivation, because I'm teaching engineers derivation. So you say that from the fact that we know that if we are finding the derivative of the certain function at f of x, then we find that the result is a certain function which we call f of x. Okay? F of x. So this one, we can use this notation that f of x dash. So in differentiated function f of x in capital letter, we get f of x dash. So to find the integral sign, then ladies and gentlemen, because this is the concept which it has been introduced in the world by the two great mathematicians of the time, Sir Isaac Newton, and also who was a British great mathematician, who is the founder of integration, and also another German mathematician called Beng. However, there are some other also great mathematicians who did research and developed different different concepts of calculus, but those are the centrals. Those are the key persons of integration. So the x of what? Of f of x. I don't want just you to claim. I know that you know the symbol of one variable calculus, but I know that you don't know where to get it. So suppose that this there or a given function which is not differentiated, and then this there, that's the derivative or gradients of that graph. So ladies and gentlemen, we say that if you multiply by dx onto both sides, then you find that this dx and dx cancel. So on this left hand side, you have f, then you have x, like this one. This is equal to it. This is equal to f x dash gx. And this one sometimes may later the function, just a single function of f of x. So then, in order to find the response, we have to sum this small segment of what of f of x. So these are this is the symbol 40 of integral. So when you integrate, if you do remember that, on the left hand side, we integrate the derivative of what? Of function of x, but with what? So it's a function of x, d that. And then from this side, say that it's the integral of f of x dash dx. So on this left hand side, this integral sign and d cancel. So you make that f of x, which is the integrand of the certain function, is equal to integral of what? F of x dash, then dx. So that day, how we get the symbol of integration in calculus, and that this is how integrations relate to sorting with differentiation. So we say that generally the symbol of integration of integral is what? Is this one. That we have the integral sign from lower limit to upper limit of what? Of a certain function, f of x, and then I'm sorting dx. So that can help us to find summation of the small to form the wall. So this day, so let me just define. So where this symbol represents what? So where this symbol represents what? Integration sign. Integration sign. So this is neck shape, it's what we call integration sign. So where this one presents what? Integral sign. Then have what? F of x. How do we call this f of x within the integral sign? So f of x, this one we call it it's what? It's integrand. It is what? Integrand. And then we have x. This x is what? Is variable of 40 of differentiation. Variable 40 of differentiation. Okay? So we have three terminologies: integration sign, integrand, and what? Variable 40 of differentiation. So simply say that if you have f of x like this one, the x, then this means what? Sign or symbol, sign or what? Symbol of sign or symbol of integration. This one, this entire function, any function within this integral sign, this one, means that we call it integrand. So integrand. And this x is what we call the variable of what? Of differentiation. So this is what we call the symbol.